Let's binge some cringe here with black pill YouTuber Goatis, who is well known for making a video where he's out in the woods and he says a man would be mentally ill if he wasn't attracted to a 15-year-old girl. Today, he's going to be talking about Eugenia Cooney, what led her to this state. If you don't like seeing anorexic people, you probably don't want to watch this, but for the rest of us, let's go.
By Eugenia Cooney, especially in the last few months. The reason I hadn't done that yet is because it's so hard to talk about a lot of topics on YouTube because of the heavy censorship. I'm still going to do it today. I'm going to be very respectful. The video we are going to watch is called The Psychology of Eugenia Cooney.
Whilst Eugenia is known for her incredibly thin physique, there's something even darker going on beneath the surface. To be able to understand what's really going on, we need to...
Now, I've never watched this guy's videos at all, not even the one where he's got a lot of reactions to him being super creepy and talking about 15-year-old girls. So I really don't know what his views actually are. He's got black pill in the title of a lot of his videos. I've seen Eugenia Cooney's content. I've seen her collaborate with like Jacqueline Glenn and other content creators. I like Eugenia Cooney, but she obviously has some major issues.
To go to May 2013, which is Eugenia's first public video on YouTube, where she shows off some of her favorite...
Back then, which is 10 years ago, she already looked underweight for sure, but she was actually alarmingly underweight. Of course, some people may have believed that she just didn't eat enough in that period and that it's just a phase. At the start, you may have not been able to tell what's going on.
outfits, and it is clear that she's very thin. In these early videos, Eugenia comes across as quite a bubbly character, and she's fairly articulate in her speech.
That's fair. She was quite a bit younger. That's 10 years ago we're looking at. It's not like that crazy that somebody would slow down their speech and talk differently in 10 years.
This is what I wore on Saturday, so I have a bodysuit on with this fringe jacket.
Keep in mind...
Right, back then when she was around 19, her speech was more or less normal. The thing that people don't talk about when it comes to her is that when you starve, your organs also starve, which means that your brain also starves. Your brain is made out of fat. When you have no body fat left, it literally means that there's also not enough fat left in your brain. The brain is, of course, the organ which tries to keep the fat the most. You will lose fat everywhere, and you will only lose the fat in your brain at the very end, and that's when you actually die. It's the most dangerous fat that you could possibly lose, and what we see nowadays is that her speech is oftentimes even incoherent. She stutters a lot, she can't think of the words she wants to say. And
ooh, that's dark. I never even thought about this aspect of Eugenia Cooney. And I haven't seen anything from her in years, so maybe she has declined, which already with just the physical part of it, it's already such a dark topic.
That's a typical sign of somebody who has a starved brain.
And at this point, Eugenia's fans can actually be seen in the comments engaging with the content in a meaningful way. As the years go by, Eugenia continues to upload similar content. However, with each video, Eugenia seems to become slimmer and slimmer, until her bones...
She became slimmer and slimmer. She was obsessed, and still is, from what I understand, with the Tim Burton movies, who portrays these skeleton, death-like figures, these animations which are supposed to portray death, which is exactly what she is imitating. She's trying to portray this death-like, pale, skeleton-like figure, which is why people are so shocked by seeing her videos, especially for the first time. But even if you watch her for a while, it never really gets better.
Can be seen, and fans begin to...
Yeah, that's very true.
Flood the comments with
Wow,
their
I
concerns
hate that I'm
with
agreeing
Eugenia's
with this
mental
guy.
state. In more recent years, fans have noticed that the weight loss has taken a real toll on her physical health. Some have pointed out that her speech has got higher in pitch and squeakier, and that she seems to struggle to articulate.
Yes, that's a very typical...
He seems a lot calmer than the bits I've seen, the tiny clipped out bits of him saying that creepy stuff in the woods. Like maybe he used to be playing a character playing up to the camera, and he's not actually that big of a creep.
sign when you're starving.
What she wants to say.
Some people are really...
I'm definitely the type of person where I do not believe in just writing somebody off entirely, being like, oh, this person's an irredeemable piece of crap, because otherwise that would be an even darker world to live in, where people can never change, people can never be reformed, and it's just not realistic, right? Like, people do change, and stuff like, say somebody does like a 30-year prison sentence, yeah, a lot of those people are going to get out and just re-offend for whatever it is. But plenty don't. Plenty genuinely do change and realize they made a mistake.
Go to finding private info, and that's true too, James.
Some have also pointed out that her legs are red in colour.
Eugenia, your knees are purple. Don't worry, guys. I think my knees are fine. Sorry if they look a little purple to some people right now.
Eugenia has also been observed to be having some sort of seizures whilst on her streams, which she actually denies.
I move my arm and then I'm having a seizure to some people. That's another thing people like to say lately, is that I'm having a seizure, which I definitely have not had any seizures on stream.
So, what has Eugenia said about all of this? In the early days of her internet career, Eugenia does not really address her slim appearance so much. However, in a YouNow clip from 2016, Eugenia tells fans that she's naturally...
There's no way he's playing this video in fast speed, right? Because when Eugenia talks, it's like regular speed.
skinny, and she denies being unwell.
I'm just kind of like naturally like this, I guess. Like, here they are, another MC Horseface saying that is not natural and that I'm sick. No, I'm really not. I don't know.
Maybe it is a little sped up.
She seems really happy
Because
and
now
reading
she
out
seems
comments from
sped up.
fans telling her she looks very thin.
Why am I so skinny? I guess this is just me, something.
Yes, it's clear that she's creating these videos because she likes the attention that she's getting from people on social media, which is why there was...
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to dunk on Eugenia Cooney at all. That's why I'm not really saying too much and holding back my opinion. But obviously, if you've never seen her before, this is pretty shocking. And I hate to reduce her down to her body, but it's what she puts on display, right? Like, this is her content and she puts it out there publicly. So it's the centerpiece of her content. It's kind of like a crutch that she uses, and that's unfortunate because she's really entertaining otherwise, and she's been around. She's been on YouTube for so long that even if she didn't have this, for lack of a better term, freak show about her content, she would still be totally entertaining and be a good YouTuber, be one of the most entertaining YouTubers. So it's not even necessarily a crutch, but it's...
was even a petition
I don't
to
know what
get
it
her
is.
banned. People are afraid that she's influencing young girls to be like her, which would not only make them infertile, obviously, but it would actually make them so unhealthy that it could potentially cause death. Is it a solution?
I think people are overly pushy with that kind of stuff. I think there's been multiple pushes for her to get banned over the years. I think that's too far. I think that's a little ridiculous. She's an adult and she can make her own decisions. I know it sometimes seems like she doesn't, her mom. It seems like her mom's has a large control over her life, but she is an adult, and
to her problems?
It's not up to the internet to decide what's best for somebody. And I understand the feeling that you want to help somebody, especially somebody where you've enjoyed their content and stuff, but it's not ultimately up to you. And yeah, maybe her health will get the best of her, and that would be really sad and unfortunate, but there's literally nothing you can do. So I just don't think it's people's place to kind of campaign for her removal. I understand the argument that it could have a negative impact on other people, but this isn't a trend. I think at this point we can confidently say that this isn't doing that, right? She has gotten so much negative attention, and just simply vocalizing that negative attention, I feel is enough. I feel that's counteracting the negative potential impacts of saying hey, maybe young girls will see this and be inspired to be oh, well, I want that. Like, oh, she's a successful YouTuber. Maybe if I do that, I'll be a successful YouTuber. That's clearly not the case. Otherwise, there'd be like 10 Eugenia Cooney clones out there making
to get
content.
her back. Of course not. She will be even more miserable and try to get attention some other way. It won't help anybody who has problems like her. What YouTube could of course do is force her to put a warning sign before her videos, under her videos, anywhere, to warn girls. But of course the girls who are susceptible to this will still fall for whatever she's saying. And it's not as if she's directly, necessarily, arguably promoting the way she looks, in the sense that she's not saying that you should look like that. But then again, if you dress like that, you show off her body, it's not like she's covering her body, then it's very strongly implying that she likes the way she looks, and that it's at least okay to look like that.
In 2016, fans become increasingly worried for Eugenia, and a Change.org petition titled "Temporarily Ban Eugenia Cooney Off of YouTube" goes viral and receives 18,000 signatures. This prompted Eugenia to upload a video titled "I'm Sorry," in which she describes the comments she receives as hate and anger, and she tells fans she is fine.
There's just been like a ton of kind of like hate. Seriously, I'm definitely fine. I'm definitely not dead.
Really not showing off the outfits at all, of course. You're only showing off your body in this case.
They could have walked away and said everything is fine, but they were like really concerned. So they ended up deciding that they wanted to take her into care, and they ordered something called a 5150, and it's mandatory. They take you
involuntary
without, yeah.
This chapter of Eugenia's life was documented by successful YouTuber Shane Dawson, who released an hour-long YouTube video in July titled "The Return of Eugenia Cooney." In this video,
Yeah, it seems that there's like every so often a trend of let's care about Eugenia Cooney, let's make her like relevant again. No offense to her, I genuinely like her, think her content is good, but there is this like every couple of years cycles back to, oh yeah, Eugenia Cooney's around and she's worse than ever, and maybe it's the case, but again, it just feels so out of place. I feel like it's out of place for Jacqueline Glenn. I feel like it's out of place for Shane Dawson.
The decade-long speculation about her eating problems and admits to being unwell. So,
I mean, in terms of making content out of it, I do find that kind of a little weird, right? Like, obviously, they're like friends with her, right? Like Shane Dawson, Jacqueline Glenn. It's different if it's literally your friend, but the fact that they like turn it into content is bizarre. And I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world because it's hard for them to communicate otherwise, right? Like they can get their point across and be sympathetic, and maybe it's one of their only ways to actually contact Eugenia. So I can forgive it a little bit, but I feel like Shane Dawson put a heavy focus on making content out of it, and I just find that off-putting.
Oh yes, I was like dealing with an eating disorder.
this video was received very well by fans, who expressed their relief that Eugenia had finally got help and had seemed to put on a little weight. Eugenia made some follow-up videos, updating viewers on her progress, including documenting what she ate for breakfast, which seemed promising to her fans. However, since then, fans have noticed that Eugenia seems to have lost weight again. Several clips have emerged from her Twitch streams, where she appears to be again in denial about her eating problems.
But in Shane's video, you said it was an eating disorder. Was that?
Will only provoke negative attention, which means that a lot of the people who will watch her videos will bully her, not necessarily.
Watching you.
I'm gonna skip ahead to see what she's up to recently.
My mom lives with me. She knows that I'm fine.
I know she eats. She takes good care of herself.
Exactly. See? Exactly.
Happens to be skinny.
But that's so strange to say that as a mother, that she takes good care of herself. It's really strange.
Skinny, but she does. Take
Exactly.
skinny
We're all
But
different.
she does take good care of herself.
Exactly.
I mean, it's so obviously false. Like, if in all these years you would have had like a doctor saying you have this specific condition, that is why you're like super skinny, and you eat, but you're still skinny regardless, you would have some kind of medical analysis, evaluation, opinion out there to provide to your audience. You and your mom saying, yeah, I eat. No, like, you don't. everyone sees through it, and it's fine. I mean, I don't know. It becomes such a large like element to her content, right? Her reacting to the attention that it gives. Like, I think she actually, I mean, I hate to say it because I hate to reduce anybody's like mental health issues to them wanting attention, but when that attention literally also comes with money and it's like your career, I think maybe she got into this being super skinny thing for attention, and she continues to get attention. Like this guy's reacting to her 13 days ago. He uploaded this, and I'm reacting to it now. People are constantly reacting to Eugenia Cooney. People are constantly giving her attention, and I think maybe that's how she got into it to begin with, and it's just always continued, right? She's only ever gotten more attention and more positive affirmation, right? Even if people are being negative and literally campaigning for her to be off of YouTube, she's not off of YouTube, right? So when you think about it, all the attention that she's ever gotten just increases and just continues to have a positive effect. I mean, just look what's in the frame. You have a nice house, well decorated. She often wears like all kinds of outfits. She's probably like rich off of this. I imagine she still has like, well, let's check out her channel. 2.15 million subscribers. She posted a video yesterday. 14K views.
Hey guys.
She looks like she posts like a few videos a month. Biggest one I'm seeing is 500,000. But people will keep checking this stuff out, right? It looks like she does like a cluster of videos all at once. Which, you know, no shame in that, but these like 3 here where she's in a Santa Claus outfit. Let's check out. Yeah, she's got these like old videos. 24 million views, 10 million, 9, 8, 6.1, 5.1. These videos will continue to slowly get more and more views, right? Like, say a video within like a year creeps to having another 1 million views. That doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a consistent amount of views, right? Like, she's definitely still making good money off this, even though she doesn't even upload that much, right? And she can ride that success of her early content and the cool stuff she's done over the years forever. I'm not saying that's entirely a bad thing, or like it's you that's giving her attention by viewing her content. I'm not saying don't view her content, and I'm not saying that she should be banned, but I'm saying maybe that's kind of what's going on, is she's got nothing but even the negative attention that she's gotten ultimately is a positive for her life. So it's like she's only ever gotten positive attention for it. Especially considering that there's this negative attention that's maybe like half of the attention she's ever gotten, and the other half is just flat out positive attention, right? So when the negative is actually a positive and the positive is a positive, then it's kind of all positive.